When the Federal Bureau of Narcotics agent Arthur J. Giuliani took up his post as narcotics control officer in the American sector of Berlin on April 8, 1946, he was 37 years old and spoke, to his credit, a bit of French and Italian, both picked up on the streets of New York, but not a word of German. The former capital of the Reich was on its knees, the wounds carved by British and American bombs on the one hand, Russian artillery fire on the other, was still everywhere present. Rubble formed an eerie streetscape where the ghosts of the past roamed, while the geopolitical conflicts of the future were already making themselves felt, and the battered residents were searching for the precious commodity of normalcy. Berlin was a place gone completely out of control, a place it hardly seemed possible to regulate. Only bit by bit were the women who made up the rubble crews able to clear the streets and make them passable again. Here was a blasted metropolis in which thousands of people lived in ruins, almost all of them out of work, caught in a state between exhaustion and the exciting prospect of starting life over again from scratch. The shattered economy created a paradise for grifters and dealers. Anyone in need of the most basic necessities had to turn to the black market, where they could find anything that wasn't bolted or nailed down, from prosthetic limbs to garters. These illegal markets popped up in more than 36 locations, east and west, each with their own mixture of suspicion, desperation, and just a hint of gold rush atmosphere. All manifestations of the complete despair, confusion, and cynicism now reigning in Berlin, as the Washington Daily News reported. Hershey bars, Graham crackers, Oreos, Butterfingers, Mars bars, Jack Daniels. For consumer goods such as these, war-battered Germans were prepared to part with everything from their Leica camera to their left kidney. A Knight's Cross for a Snickers, a pocket watch for a bit of margarine. Women got dolled up and offered their bodies as goods for barter. Shady characters paced back and forth, whispering appeals to passers-by, several watches on each wrist, an array of medals pinned to the inner lining of their long coats, hats tilted rakishly back on their heads, and a cigarette ever dangling from their lips, assuming they could get one. Allied soldiers waved fistfuls of money that they weren't allowed to send home. A contemporary criminologist summed up the situation around him. The phenomenon of crime in Germany has reached a level and forms unparalleled in the history of Western civilization.